A significant appointment. A local pastor, hand-selected by Reverend Jesse Jackson, is now leading the Rainbow Push Coalition through the next era of the civil rights movement. I sat down exclusively with Dr. Frederick Haynes, pastor of Dallas's Friendship West, ahead of his formal installation. He opened up about how decades of studying Black history led him to this historic appointment and how leading the movement from here could transform parts of North Texas.
Speaking truth to power, empowering the powerless.
For decades, well-known Dallas pastor Dr. Frederick Haynes has used his pulpit as a platform, elevating calls for environmental, economic, and racial justice.
I just think that I got to preach it in the sanctuary and then take it to the streets and the corporate suites.
Now he's taking his advocacy to the world stage.
There are some mornings I wake up tripping like, wow, President and CEO of Rainbow Push. And then connecting the dots with the fact that when I was a student at Bishop College here in Dallas, Reverend Jackson came as our special guest convocation speaker for our 100th anniversary. That kid is now succeeding that person he looked up to and still looks up to.
Jackson asked Haynes to take over the International Rainbow Push Coalition. The civil rights organization has advocated for social change since the 70s.
Unfortunately, what he was fighting for in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, we now have to fight for in the 20s and probably the 30s, except for it's morphed into a different kind of fight.
Can you be more specific about that?
Be glad to. Sadly, we had more voting rights protection in '71 as a result of the '65 voting rights bill than we have in 2024. And as a consequence, one of the things we're going to be calling for is a voting rights, not just bill or law, but a voting rights amendment where the voting rights of citizens are protected regardless of the state that they live in. Sadly, where too many people find themselves living below the poverty level. And so we're going to push for not a minimum wage, but a living wage.
Haynes says that fighting spirit runs through his veins. He's named after his grandfather, who named himself Frederick Douglass Haynes.
He pastored Third Baptist in San Francisco, hosted the National Convention of the NAACP in the late 50s, hosted Martin Luther King Jr. Without question, I have been shaped, inspired by Black history and Black History Month.
At just 16, he read the autobiography of Malcolm X, then galvanized crowds boycotting San Francisco schools.
I just read Malcolm said you got to make noise.
Now he's hoping the resources of Rainbow Push will amplify their calls for change across the nation and here. How do you see your leading this international organization impacting Dallas? What does it mean that you are here?
Reverend Jackson kept saying, not only are you the one to do this because of your work, but you're the one to do this because you're in the South. And again, the movement for justice is going back south. Dr. Haynes will be officially installed tomorrow at the Black Academy of Arts and Letters, and Rainbow Push will be hosting the inaugural Social Justice Conference at Paul Quinn College on Friday. And tomorrow marks the beginning of Black History Month. Over the next few weeks, we'll be working hard to bring you stories of community and inspiration. And we would love to hear from you about people whose contributions have helped shape your life and your community. You can reach out to us with your ideas at ic@nbcdfw.com. Send us a photo and some details about the story that you would like for us to share as we continue to discover Black heritage.